Are you intimidated by the new Incursion, Paradise Lost? I don't blame you. It's got all the elements of a raid, a game mode that 99% of the player base doesn't do. And I'm sure the videos showing 8-minute clears using raid exploit tactics with high levels of coordination isn't boosting your confidence either. And if that's not your bag, then you're in the right place, because today I'm going to provide the full guide for the average Joe. That's you, to beat the Incursion, including easy to make builds, team composition, placement, and essential tactics. Let's do this. You must beat Paradise Lost to get the new Ouroboros exotic SMG. And this is a weapon you don't want to miss out on. I know this type of game mode can be intimidating, and it's not easy at first, but it does get easier once you know what's going on. So let's get you on your way. Please note, I have timestamps in the description area so you can easily get back to the parts you need to rewatch. Turns out, really guys, like, it really is a DPS check type Incursion. You can decomplicate things just by going in with heavy damage in the end. And so this is my go-to build, all checkpoints, and there's a few builds, and so I'm going to show you all the builds. This is like, it's confirmed. You don't need anything else. This is it. The shock ammo, extremely helpful for ad clearing. When you're playing against these big tanky bosses, that extra large mag for sustained damage is going to be really helpful for you. The shock is for the ads, but most of the bosses don't take status effects unless they're in their moments of non-immunity. Anyways, and then the ACS shotgun to build stacks, but otherwise this is just a striker crit build. You've seen this a bazillion times. And then the coyote to buff your team, and then I'm running a Grupo obliterate chest piece. The Reviver Hive, you basically want to run throughout the whole thing. You know, you see some teams running without the Reviver, but I always think it's a good idea because, well, you don't really need any other skill as a DPS player. I'm running this just for the first checkpoint, but the reality is you're gonna most likely run the shield, and then the decoy is also another good option depending on the checkpoint and which team you run with. So the skills are probably the only thing that changes. Now I'm running gunner for a little bit of armor on kill, and also just to help my ammo stay up a little bit more, so I'm not always running to the ammo crate. You don't have to use the St. Elmo's. The FAMAS would be another good option here because it's got really good damage. And then you could also do perfect focus, so the pristine example chest piece with the scope on your FAMAS on boss 4 especially. And then the other build you do need is a Hunter's Fury. Just depends on if you're going to be that role. Every team's going to run a little bit differently, but a 4-piece Hunter's Fury with opportunistic, it's really about that opportunistic Scorpio lefty combo. So these 3 pieces are just really going to do some assistance to your team getting some more overall DPS out while you're putting up some serious damage too, because Hunter's Fury is strong and so is that shotgun. So this is the second DPS build. The way we're running it is we're running 2 strikers and then 1 Hunter's Fury. You could also just do 3 strikers, which is might even be easier depending on how you break this thing down, and just leave your healer to run the Scorpio and opportunistic. And then you have to have a healer. Somebody has a healer. It needs to be a healer. So if you're gonna be doing this Incursion, go in with the healer build saved in case you end up being that guy. This is the worst thing you can do with the Incursions, okay? The worst thing you can do in the Incursions is go in there without a build. Not knowing what you're doing is not a big deal because everybody expects that. But if you go in there with no build and just some random build, it's just gonna be a big letdown for the other players. It's gonna be like, oh, you haven't even gotten that far. You know, watch a few YouTube videos. I mean, they're like, everybody's sharing their builds, so it's like, you know, but you need to have a variety. You don't have to have the Hunter's Fury, but the striker build and the healer build are mandatory. That healer build needs the overcharge, and even if you're not the healer, you just need to be prepared to be the healer. Be a good team player and go in there with both those builds.
Hey Bandidos, the community we have built together wouldn't have been possible without you. So as a thank you for supporting my channel, I am bringing you the hookup on member perks, including even more Division 2 content and the celebrated gaming music playlists. If you're not part of Texas Players Club, now is your chance.
So this is just repair skills. There's nothing special about this, right? It's just repair skills and skill haste. You can throw in some duration if you wanted to. You can change this a little bit, but the BTSU gloves are really important. And then you're gonna want opportunistic on your backpack to give the team more damage. The heals are strong enough, so it just needs to be a little bit more damage. And then the shotguns are important so that you can proc that opportunistic. And the survivalist is important because it gives more outgoing heals, but also gives you that fire grenade, which is going to help with the lefty, right? So there's a couple of bosses that can really help with the lefty. And then otherwise, the medic is a tough job. You know, you got to keep your team alive. It's not an easy thing to do because your team is spread out in a lot of cases. And the medic is also dealing with mechanics. So they're not just sitting there healing with people. They're shooting with their shotgun to mark enemies, and they're healing their team, and they're doing mechanics. And they got to know where their team's revive hives are. You know what I mean? As far as do they need to be reset, because he needs to constantly reset hives so that people could die and get back up on their own. So that's it. Those are the 3 builds, guys. There's nothing else to it. Hey, by the way, if you're looking to be part of a strong, positive community, then I have you covered. Join Tux's Discord. We're not elitists, and we're here to help you get through difficult content, like the Paradise Lost Incursion, where we're so much more than just clans and raids. Tux's Discord continues to grow as the central hub for the player base that loves this game and wants to see it thrive. And if you love builds, this is definitely your spot. Basically, what the strategy is here, and I'm sure other teams do it a little bit differently, but we're just going to play it as a unit. And so I need to pick up a few striker stacks on my way. So normally you could just run right by the NPCs, but in my case, I just need 1 or 2 NPCs to stack on. And so that way, by the time I get to the turrets, I have my stacks for striker, and it just helps you shoot that thing faster. You're gonna be taking mortar turrets. You're gonna get staggered, so you might die. So the reviver hive is gonna be helpful to getting back up. But otherwise, we're gonna beeline on the left side, take out the left turret. My team is gonna throw out decoys, and they're gonna watch my back. If I die, VL Jack is going to reset hives. Then we're going to rotate to the right, repeat that, and then we're just going to clear the ads. It's really that easy. And sometimes it might not go perfect. If you die because you make a mistake or you get hit by the wrong mortar turret, just rinse and repeat. It's okay. It's okay. It's pretty fast. It's not like it takes 30 minutes and then you lose all that time. So, all right, let's do it. Beelining left. So there's no explosive resistance, so you can't. Those mortars are the end all. So you just don't want to get hit by them, basically.
How the hell did they try?
Okay, so I got my stacks, as you can see. So now it's just beelining up there to the tower. So that turret's gonna, so I got an EMP jammer, so it should take it out. Got it. Turret down. Shoot, shoot. Mortars are a bitch. It's not the turret, it's more the mortars, you know? Okay, so now I'm gonna change my skill to a shield because I no longer need the EMP. And so then I'm just add clear time. The ads aren't hard. There is one sniper you might want to look out for if you're still alive, but otherwise they're just at regular old ads. The mortars don't take decoys, so you know they'll ignore your decoys. So there's no, the only way to get out of the mortars is to basically run. They can shoot through cover too on certain checkpoints. Some cover works against them, some cover doesn't. You have a zone and you're gonna cover it. This is the back area, and the medic basically stands up here, okay? And his job is to keep everybody alive. And then one person is back here with him and covers this whole back area. Up here is another zone, but it's actually the stairs. So I'll cover the stairs, and so here is my zone. The final area is basically just up here. Just covering this zone. And then shoot across where you can. The stairs are important, so the reason why I'm covering the stairs is because I gotta cover that door. I gotta cover that door, and then underneath there's a door too, so I need to cover all 3 of those zones. Yeah, I'm ready when you guys are. Yeah. So build your stacks first thing, right? Like, you don't need to use your ACS shotgun only against the rushers. So the first thing I do is just use my stacks. Get my stacks. And then from there, just burn them. So there's 4 waves, 4 critical waves, we'll call them. And the critical waves, they have stars over their head or diamonds.
Behind you, wall. Bro.
Yeah.
So the sniper is important. Got to get the sniper here. And the rushers are just a big distraction, so you know. That's what they do, is they distract you. Okay, so that was wave 1.
Yeah, I don't have an angle.
We'll go back. Take him. Yep.
So you can see the health gauge on the tanker.
One is climbing over there.
I see him. He's coming down. There's wave 2.
Nice, good stuff, good stuff.
The truck is taking a lot of damage. You need to take out those cleaners attacking the truck
Oh.
before it blows.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Did he bug out? What the fuck?
geo guy or something can run around.
Great work, Agent. You should
Boss.
be clear to approach the front gate.
Boss.
Hopefully you can access the estate from there. Stop that cleaner.
Clear.
Sorry about that. You should be clear now. Head through the gate.
Yeah, so you jump. There's a little red spot on his backpack, so that's why we ran back. It jumped inside.
That will explode and kill me.
You get tip of spear, weaves,
I get the
blueprints.
Go shit the dilemma backpack. Nice. Blueprint. They give you always a blueprint.
Yep.
Okay, there's a secret button here if you guys hadn't figured this out. So if you interact with this gold painting, take this off, and then you press this button,
Uh-huh. War? Are you impressed?
and then look behind you.
Please tell me you're impressed.
Oh, if you're a key, yeah.
And that'll open the gold door later on. We'll get to it. Collectible. Alright, so small easy wave, it's just random NPCs in here.
This is Mackenzie Marin. Cleaners attack the community. Heavy losses. I was bringing survivors to a safe. I don't know how much longer we can hold out here. There's a secret entrance in the library. I can track you on the security cameras and guide you to it.
So remember, I'm only running one armor core. We got the healer, right? So that's why you don't want to come in here with a bunch of armor. You need, it's about the damage. Sadly.
There's a common here all day.
Hey,
There's a common room.
you found the library. Great. To the left of the painting above the fireplace, there should be a book on the third shelf. Pull out the book to open the secret entrance.
Yeah, here's the water boss. That's right, boss 3. So this one isn't that hard. It might take you a few tries if you don't, because it requires basically just requires perfect water gameplay. That's what it is. It's strong DPS and perfect water. If you come in with strong DPS, then you just have to worry about the water. So, and it's easy hard. It's easy hard. And so we played it last night, I don't know, like 6 times on this boss or so, and like we had it every time. It's just like one mistake and it's like fuck,
That was me.
you know. So same build, same loadout, and so I'll take first aggro like we've been doing.
Second, we can.
Are we gonna hit him off the stage first?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
All right.
So we're gonna try to get him under this stage sprinkler, and so it's important that the other team watches my back. Remember back placement here, guys. So ads are gonna come out of this door, ads are gonna come out of this door, so we need a guy on the left and the right and the back. And then it's important also that they're back there so they don't accidentally pick up aggro, because even if you're hiding in cover in the front, then don't forget to throw out your hive, then your aggro is gonna accidentally pick them up. Hey Banditos, I'm gonna quickly pause right here to explain the mechanics and the layout of this room, because that's probably the most important part of it. Up above, as you can see, or straight across, will be the control room. So notice I have the entry right at the bottom, just for orientation. And then right across is that control room, and that's where the boss is gonna come out at first. So first, let's talk about zones. So you got the control room above, and that's what hosts the water valves, and also notice the ammo crate in the top corner in case you need ammo. So that's why you wanna go in there, is to activate the water valves at precise timing, and I'll explain that in a second. Otherwise, we have the bar to the left, we have the dance floor, which is right on the other side of the entry door, and then there's a stage, and it's a little higher elevation, so that's how you know you're there. And then the gauntlet, we call it the gauntlet on the right just because it's surrounded on both sides by booths, and then there's 3 water valves on top, so it's kind of like a gauntlet. So notice the red doors I have around the perimeter. Okay, so those are your ad doors. So 3 to the left, 3 to the right, and then there's gonna be 2 in the rear that come out in the control room. And you need to be aware of those, because you are hanging out in the control room, you know, trying to take on a valve or whatever, and some guys start shooting you in the back. The left and the right, for the most part, are where most of them come out of. The water valves are designated to the sprinkler heads that are in each zone. And so the big white circles that I have here laid out are actually white tiles. And above the white tiles is a water head, a spray nozzle. So you need the boss to be in the white circles. And so sometimes they're actually squares. And so they're white tiles, just be aware. They're white tiles. They're pretty darn obvious. But you need the boss to be standing in that target zone, any of them, in order for him to take the water. Okay, so if he's standing just next to it, it's often a miss. It's very important in this phase that there's communications. And this is what's probably going to be the most challenging for matchmaking, because everybody needs to be on comms, especially right here. This is the one spot, okay? Because you need to communicate back to the control room when to hit that nozzle, because they don't always have line of sight. They're not always aware when the boss is standing in the right spot. So there needs to, it's a timing thing. Otherwise, there's going to be kiting. And so kiting is where you take aggro, and you know you have aggro from the boss because there's going to be a red eye on you. Okay, and so you're going to take him for a walk, and then you're going to get him to stand in one of those circles, and you want to be close enough. So once he enters that zone, if he's close enough to you, he's going to try to swing his axe. So when he swings his axe, he's standing still. And so that's the moment. So you're going to stop on just the edge of one of the white tile zones. Okay, so let's just say the dance floor. So we're going to run around in a circle or whatever, and then you're going to stand, you're going to be ahead of him because you're always kind of faster than him. And so you're going to stand on the edge of a white circle of tiles. Okay, and then he's going to, if you're on the edge of it, he's going to stop a couple of feet behind you to swing his axe, which means he's going to be standing in the circle. And as soon as he swings his axe, you're probably going to tuck and roll back. I recommend you do that because he has kind of this shockwave thing. If you don't, you're going to take a little bit of damage. But anyways, I tuck and roll, and you say now, and that's when the control room operator, whoever's in there, is going to hit the valve and sprinkler him. So notice the valves, you don't just hit any random valve. Each valve controls particular sprinkler heads in particular zones, and I have that designated here. For the dance floor, facing the control room, for the dance floor, it's the valve on the right. For the stage, it's the valve on the left. And the one for the bar is pretty straightforward, and the one for the gauntlet's pretty straightforward because they're not right next to each other. But the stage and the dance floor often gets confused. Somebody often hits the wrong valve. So just those are the ones you really want to get the hang of. Otherwise, you're going to know. It's going to take you only a couple of seconds to get the grasp on the bar and the gauntlet. But even an experienced player can accidentally get the dance floor and the stage mixed up. So just be aware of which one's the correct one to pull. And so, there is a diagram, an actual hand drawing in the control room above each valve to let you know. But sometimes things are happening really fast that you don't have time to sit there and read a little mini map. That's basically it. And then you want to clear ads as they come out. Okay, so you don't want to save the ads for last or ignore them completely. You want to clear them so they don't collect on you. And it's not going to be too hard. So the hardest part about this is getting perfect water. That's mostly the communication, I would say. So, there needs to be somebody in the control room, and then somebody's going to be kiting. Again, he's got the red eye, and that's following him around. And then he says now, and the guy in the control room hits that valve. Everybody shoots the boss, and you want to take the boss down to one of his hash marks, okay? One of his vertical hash marks. And ideally, it's going to take you 3 and then a half wave. So 3 waves to bring him all the way down to a point where you can DPS him. Now, if you make a mistake, it's okay, but you're making it harder on yourself. So if you miss a water is what I'm saying, or you don't get enough DPS on him, then you're making it harder, because what ends up happening is more ads come and more difficult ads come. You start getting chungas and you start getting snipers, and you only have to miss 1 water valve to get the chungas and snipers. That's all it takes, is 1 water valve miss. To make this easier on you, you're going to want to make sure you hit all 3 water valves, 3 in a row, right? Without missing him, and making sure you get enough DPS on him. Also, what ends up happening, those water valves are on a timer. You should be aware of that. So if you miss a water or you use a water, whatever, it's not going to come back for a while. Okay, so it has to rebuild up pressure again so you can use it again. Not that big of a deal. Just be aware of that. In between things, always be ad clearing. If you see a red skull icon on the boss's health bar, it's pretty much letting you know that you're taking too long and things are going to get real hard on you. What he does is he starts breaking pipes and releasing flammable fluids on the ground, and so that makes your real estate a lot smaller. It makes it difficult to kite, makes it more difficult to clear ads. The longer you take to do this, just the more difficult it is. And so there's nothing wrong for a team strategy to clear. To go ahead and just kill yourself and start over if you really goof up, because you could just be saving yourself a lot of time. But if you're playing with a team that you're confident with, you can just muscle through it. You know what I mean? And just so if you make a mistake, just muscle through it. We did, actually. So we made 1 mistake, and you could see it gets tough. All we did was make 1 mistake, and that made it a little bit hard. This is is a pure DPS phase. Do not go in here with hazard protection. Do not go in here with protection from elites. You must take that boss down quickly. Again, if you don't, you're inviting more ads, more difficult ads, and more fire on the floor. 3 DPS, 1 healer. That's what you need here. One more quick detail. So if you hit the water valve, you now have aggro and are responsible for kiting. The only way to transfer or release aggro is if you go down. So if he gets wet, that means he's no longer immune and able to take damage. So try to bring him, so try to kite him back to your allies, because he's going to start running to you into the control room. And if your allies are out there, let's say like in the dance floor, then start running towards the dance floor. And you just want to do a bunch of tuck and rolls, just back and forth, just to keep him in the same area. And then your team will DPS him as he's focused highly on you.
Agent, watch out. That's the cleaner that killed our security team.
So I'm standing right here on purpose
The wings had a weird color and
because I want him to walk on that white tile. Now,
be careful, Agent. We need to neutralize
then you got to bring him all the way down to his 1 tick is your goal. Each wave. So you see the vertical hash mark. Each wave, we're trying to bring him there.
Green.
So get those headshots in. Okay, so he's immune. So now, now they're gonna pick another zone. The dance floor is good. I'm at the pipe. Clear ads along the way, team.
Nice.
I got the aggro. I'm gonna go.
Get those ads out of the way. Banged around here.
Oh, just hang on.
Okay, I got aggro now. So we still got the dance floor?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Oops, too early, too early.
Oh, missed.
Yeah, see, those are the kind of things. It's easy to do that, you know what I mean? It's nobody's fault. It's just you miss a water, and what it does is it adds an extra phase, and then you end up fighting more ads and then chungas. And you don't want the chungas there, bitch. You can still muscle through it. It's not game over, but
Now.
there you go.
Go, go, go.
So we want to bring him all the way down to that next tick. Okay, he's immune. So water is gonna be, it's gone. No water, no water.
Be careful. Cleaner's up to something. The speakeasy has some pipes that run through.
Stages. Stage looks like.
Okay, everybody else clear
Hey,
ads.
it's okay. Come on.
Everybody's got an
Stage
aggro.
No.
All right, so then everybody needs to be doing DPS on him, so I come right back and start banging on it. Even if you're getting shot in the back.
He's on.
He's immune.
Yep.
Don't put
So it looks like the gauntlet's open.
possible.
Gauntlet's open.
Yep. I'm on the pump.
All right.
Now.
Good,
Oh,
good.
Nice, nice. Where do you want to go next?
Looks like we don't know yet. No water.
Dance floor.
Dance floor. Okay, clear ads, clear ads. We've got a lot of ads out there. Snipers out there.
Yep.
Yeah, so the ads are critical in this phase, guys. You can't let them run around. You do have to kill them as you go. Who's got the aggro?
I do. I need
Okay.
heals, though.
Chunga's out.
Go.
Clear the chungas, clear the chungas.
Yep.
Bodies available. Can.
Dance floor now. The dance floor is gonna be coming up here in a second. We'll clear some ads. Okay, and now.
Chungas.
Yeah, I'll clear him.
Okay, boss has got about one wave left. He's immune. We got the bar. The bar. So clear all the ads in the bar. Make sure there's no ads shooting at our backs. And also the stage.
Bar whenever you're now.
Now.
Nice, go. Got it.
Oh, it's too far. Immune. I'm good. I'm gonna get the shot.
No, you're still good. Still killable.
Okay.
He's going down. He's going down. Oh, we could have had him. He was close. All right. So we got the gauntlet. I got aggro. Somebody on the pipes.
Getting up. There's a chunk at the back.
He's coming for me. Come on, we got this. This is it. This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
All right, VL Jack, you ready?
Yeah.
Now. Burn him. This is it.
Without his armor, that cleaner is just a man.
Burn him. This is it. This is it.
Still a man. Now's your chance.
Oh, come on, guys.
Kill him.
There it is.
Nice.
Fuck.
Where's the ad? Yeah.
That was fucking close.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
All right, Chunga.
Behind Chunga.
Gonna break my shield. Come on. Good clear. First try. Good job, guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good maintaining those ads. So we made a mistake, just, critical feedback here, is that we made a mistake, and so we wouldn't have solved the Chungas if we didn't make that mistake, so and that's what the perfect, so if you don't play perfect, you make it harder on yourself. We still got it done, of course, so you can muscle it through, but that requires a pretty focused team, you gotta have your game face on, you know what I mean? It's like, there was no joke. We had Chungas coming out, there's snipers shooting you in the back, you got rushers with their axes, so if you could just get the water right, then you can avoid all this purple shit on the ground. So the key we got will open this gate, but you have to go over here to do it.
Is that what that's for?
Yeah. And then this is called the tasting room. And then you get your collectible. So you got to do that. And then there's a yellow box in here. Okay. Shoot that. And then you'll come in here. If you haven't got a key, there'll be a key. Yeah, there's a key in there. And then you gotta hit the fuse in the other room to get that door open. So you break that yellow box, you come in here, you pull this fuse, and that's gonna unlock that door that we just saw. I'll get it. Cool. And then you get that key, and then you run back over there. Usually you have one guy on this side, one guy on that side, right? So, and then you come back over here, and then you go into the gate. And then there'll be a collectible. I already got it, but there'll be a collectible in here for you. We got this. Okay, boss 4 by far is the most difficult and requires the most DPS and focus firing out of the team. And that is both the problem and the solution to completing this incursion. I got a map here for you just to quickly go over this. It's easier to explain visually, and then we'll show the actual gameplay because it's all going to happen quite quickly here. So we're doing the most straightforward way to beat these bosses, and with some minor tweaks to our approach than what you might be seeing out there from other teams, but it's basically the same. So it's just going to look a tiny bit different though. So we got the staging area. That's basically the gate, right? The entrance. Okay, and so we're going to hang out there. Yeah, that's right. We're going to hang out there until it's time to kill Johnson. And so let me explain who you got. So you got Martinez, which is the big one. That's the female. Then you got Johnson, which is a little one, the male. He's got the rogue symbol. Okay, and they start off up there on the patio, and then there's a little alcove, basically a door into the mansion. There's an alcove, and that'll be important here in a minute. And so you got them, and then they come out with, or they call in basically a drone that they call Baby, and they share this drone. It's a defender drone that also heals. And when it's on a boss, it's invulnerable, and so is that boss. But when it's in transfer between the bosses, it's vulnerable, and so is the boss, or one of them. And so you can tell who has the Baby because there'll be a symbol on their head showing the drone. And you're switching off who you're shooting at. And the reason why is really not because you're trying to put serious damage, although damage does matter because it will help you burn Johnson when it comes time to do it. However, what you're trying to do is to get the baby drone to transfer often. The more often it transfers, the more often it's vulnerable, the more chances and the faster you can take it down. Once you eliminate it, Martinez and Johnson are gonna fall back to the patio. They're gonna put out a sniper turret, they're gonna shoot a flare to call in mortars, and they're gonna try to heal up, but they won't have a drone. They'll be repairing the baby drone during that time. And this is the moment in which you wanna go all in on Johnson and burn Johnson down. You take Johnson out here. If you don't, then you have to put up with that damn laser sniper turret the whole time, and it kills you with a single shot. It's horrible. And so you're also gonna have the mortar strikes, which are also horrible. And then you have ads, and then you're gonna be trying to kill them at the same time. It's not worth it. You see a lot of teams, if they don't kill Johnson, just wipe and start over, because you can kill Johnson in the first couple of minutes, and you're gonna see us do that. So it all happens very fast. And so we stay, this is the strategy you're about to see. And so we stay in the staging area. And so Martinez is gonna come to us, and it's pretty easy to apply enough damage to Martinez where Martinez gets the drone. Then you're gonna shoot from the staging area out to Johnson, who's gonna be running around out there. And so I try to invite Johnson in using a decoy. You're gonna need a decoy anyways. And so again, we're 3 DPS, 1 healer. So the healer is gonna keep you alive in there. So you're gonna have this guy, you know, shooting fire at you. Martinez is gonna be shooting fire at you, but you're gonna heal through it. So it's not that big of a deal. But you're gonna avoid the fire so that way you can ADS. And you're gonna be shooting at Johnson. And so why are we in the staging area? So the staging area is to help us focus. For one, we gotta keep the bosses separated. You want the bosses to be separated, because if they're together, then they're both immune and they're both healing. And so there's a green eye, which is Johnson, and there's a red eye, which is Martinez. Okay. And so that's how you know if you have aggro, you know, those little eyeballs. And so for the most part, they'll be separated. Every now and again, Johnson will wander in here, but he doesn't stick around for very long. So it's not a big deal. Don't make that a big deal. And what I mean by focusing, besides just on the bosses and keeping them separate, also we're ignoring all the ads. There's ads coming out from the left and from the right or whatever, and they're not too big of a deal, but they're just a distraction because you need to take out Johnson, right? So this could go for a very long time if you're worried about ads. We're just focused on Johnson here. That's it, you know? And so we're not even worried about the ads. We're not even, if I see one, I'll shoot him, but I'm not worried about the ads. And so you're gonna apply damage to Johnson, then Johnson's gonna get the drone. You're gonna shoot the drone as it's in transfer, and then you're gonna apply damage to Martinez until she calls the drone. Then you're gonna shoot the drone and transfer, and you're gonna do that probably about 3 times on average, and then you're gonna destroy it. The instant you destroy that, you're running to the patio as fast as you can. You're gonna get there, and okay, so you get to the patio because the baby drone is down, and so you need to basically kind of spread out in an arc, and maybe 2 of you be in the alcove, or you know, all 4 of you can be in there too. But basically you need to have clean shots on Johnson, and you're gonna focus fire on Johnson. Johnson's gonna try to put down the healer box, and that's okay. You now need to turn your attention to the healer box, eliminate the healer box, and then go back to Johnson, and it's all DPS. The lefty with a fire grenade is really gonna help ensure that you get the job done, so I definitely recommend that. The heals need to be up there too. All 4 players need to be shooting on Johnson, and if you don't kill Johnson, I recommend just starting over and doing it again, because trying to survive this thing with Johnson's skills is just messy. So, and then from there, it's just Martinez. Martinez is gonna have constant mortar support, so you're just gonna be running, and just keep applying pressure to Martinez even from distance.
No shit. Those are
They're creepy, huh?
organized this invasion. You need to be prepared for anything. Primary data access to shaken. Not sure if Conley made them honorary agents or if they have enough fairy godmother, but it's starting to make sense why our first team was overrun so quickly.
Transfer. Transfer.
There it is.
Run in. Maintain your line so we don't shoot each other in the back. Get that lefty sledgehammer in there.
There it is.
Nice. Healer station, healer station, healer station. Johnson, 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 Johnson. We got this, we got this, we got this. Headshots, headshots, headshots. Clear. Go for a run. Remember, your hives might be disabled, so add clear, stay up. My hive is still up right now, but... Who's down? Rob's down.
I am. Again, that's it.
All right, cool. Go down here. Up.
Fucking axe guy.
Fuck, I'm down. Got it? Oh, thank Jesus.
Yep.
Start clear.
Okay, let's see if we get there. This is what it's all about. Come on. Memento! That's lame.
Lady Death. Oh, come on.
Yeah, that should be a guaranteed drop your first time, I think, you know?
It should be.
Yeah. Yeah, so 4 people opened it. Nobody got the Ouroboros. That's a little frustrating, huh? But what I learned doing this from the ground up, basically, right? And, you know, we've been here before with Iron Horse, and we had to figure out that strategy. And it's always really fun figuring out the strategies. I enjoy it. I do. This is my favorite time of raids. I love the figuring it out part, and I love the figuring out how to do it more efficiently. And I love doing it for the community from the average Joe perspective. So I know there's guys out there that are doing these busy bee, you know, one-shot kill and beating this thing in under 10 minutes. The average player isn't going to do that, so it doesn't really help me to learn that strategy and to execute it. I mean, I know it's fun to watch, but we'll let those guys do that thing. That's what they do. But this is a community channel, and so what I want to do is give you guys a foundation to complete this in the easiest way possible, the least amount of complications, because I know what you're up against. I know that you're going to be out here matchmaking. I know that you're going to be playing with a friend that might not be the most tactical player in the field. I know that your builds might not have the expertise, little things like that. So you're going to be up against challenges. If we can give you the most straightforward, easy, it's proven, it's not complicated, there's no tricks, you don't have to be a crack shot, speed runner, headshot. You don't need the Regulus, right? Because you got to be, we have to have the Regulus to do a lot of that stuff. And so many people don't have the Regulus. Why would we build a strategy around the Regulus? Why would I do that? You don't have the Regulus. And for those of you that do, you don't even need a strategy probably, because you're used to raids and you'll figure it out. We are average Joes that love this game and just want to have fun. And fun is effective, so don't be confused. If you're not effective, it's not fun. It's frustrating. It's not fun if it's not effective. So yes, it has to be effective, but it's also got to be fun. This is fun. I know it's intimidating at first because you're like, there's pressure on me. I've never done it before. I got to learn this stuff. I'll be doing this probably all season, at least myself. We'll start not only showing you how to do it on a consistent level, but also just bringing in new people and helping people learn. That's cool. Even if you're not in on it, then at least you're hearing me explain the basics to somebody who's also new, just like you. And so that way, when you random matchmake or when you play with another group, you've got the rundown. Somebody's explained it to you. Yeah, this is really fun content. You don't want to miss out on this. You know, I know it's intimidating. I just want you guys to be able to play it, at least until you get your Ouroboros. Okay, now I have 2 questions for you. Have you beat this incursion yet? Second, did you get your Ouroboros? Let me know in the comment section below.
Follow me. Come on, Louise. I'll buy you some sugared butter shavings.